Today, playing a Dark Magician deck can be difficult and even frustrating to play against top-tier decks, but the deck is periodically updated with new and better cards like Magician's Souls and Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, which begs the question, could a Dark Magician deck actually be a top-tier deck? The series will start with us building a baseline deck profile, and in each episode we will duel against random decks in 3 best-of-3 match duels. As we duel, we will discuss and analyze the plays, and in the following episode, we'll either keep the deck as is or adjust it to try and make it better. We will repeat this process, producing various deck profiles while incorporating your feedback with ours to try and make the ultimate Dark Magician deck for the current format. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Dark Magician Deck Builder series. Last time we dueled against the Prank Kids deck. This time we're going to be facing off against Altergeist.
There have been no changes made to the deck since the last video. Same deck, different match.
But remember guys, to drop comments below to let us know your feedback about what you think about the deck so we can incorporate it into future episodes.
Also guys, if you like the content, we do ask that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification bell.
Alright, we are running lights, camera, action! Beep!
It's time to do.
Red Eye's Black Dragon, for all that is good in the world, there's only one of these in the deck. Why does it keep showing up? So David's plays were good, but his opponent bringing out Altergeist Silquitous is going to throw a wrench in things that he's going to have to play around a bit.
Now here, I could have summoned for Predaplant Verte, but because he had Silquitous on the field, I think he really just would have returned that to my extra deck using its quick effect, so I decided instead to go for Black Luster Soldier, and using Dark Magician the Dragonite, which is level 8 as material, means that Black Luster Soldier can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, making his cards absolutely useless. And better yet, I was set up to attack his Multi-Faker, destroy that by battle, activate effect of Black Luster Soldier, and banish the Silquitous from the field, which is the problematic Altergeist card to deal with, and that puts me in a good position.
So because David chose not to use navigation turn 1, it's stuck in his hand and there's really no way to use it at this point.
So Rebecca's absolutely right that having a Magician Navigation in hand really sucks, and it sucked even more that I drew Secrets of Dark Magic's 2 cards that I can't use. I did finally draw Magician's Rod though, which was great, so all I had to do was bait the Altergeist trap cards negate with Black Luster Soldier, which I was pretty confident he was going to do, which would allow me to go to main phase 2, normal summon Rod, search for Eternal Soul, which would set me up with Black Luster Soldier, Eternal Soul, Dark Magician, Dark Magical Circle, which would give me 2 banishes per turn. Then he did 2 things I didn't expect. He negated the summon of Magician's Rod with Solemn Judgment, and he followed it up by special summoning Selene the Master Magicians during his turn, which surprised me because that basically meant he's going to bring out Access Code Talker, and at that point I had nothing I could do as a follow-up, which would pretty much leave the rest of the duel and my final play up to my last draw phase.
31 cards are left in the deck, and David draws Red Eye's Black Dragon again. So now knowing that you're playing Altergeist and a back row heavy deck, what changes are you going to make from your side deck?
Well, so Altergeist is interesting because it's kind of back row heavy, but there are still plenty of monster effects and deck searching. So I think what we'll probably do is swap out both Forbidden Droplets and Called by the Grave for a Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Cosmic Cyclone to deal with the back row. And then I think we'll actually leave in Ash Blossom so we can still kind of deal with the searching effects and monster effects to a degree. And we also still have our 2 infinite imperms as well.
Crap. David just drew 2 Ash Blossoms. The hand doesn't look that great. Maybe all the hand traps aren't the best idea. Ash Blossom kind of breaking his hand. This isn't the first time that's happened, but I know it's a contrary opinion to like the meta and popular like
To be honest, this is where I really struggle with Dark Magician. This guy's running another control-based deck, but he was running Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike, Infinite Imperm, and cards like Muleseek on top of his Altergeist negates. He negated every single play that I had. He popped my Dark Magical Circle, he popped my Eternal Soul, he negated my Magician Souls, he negated my Predaplant Verte. This is why I truly believe that Dark Magician the Dragon Knight is the key to the deck, because without that board block, Dark Magician really struggles playing through some of these decks. And that is where the Dark Magician deck really doesn't shine, but at that point it was pretty much I knew where I lost the match. So guys, we have started to identify some problematic cards in the deck we thought we would talk about. The first one is Magician Navigation.
You don't necessarily want to have to wait a whole turn before you do anything, and for this card you have to have Dark Magician in hand.
And the other problem is if you have to choose between Magician Navigation and another play that requires you using Dark Magician, you're almost always going to do the other play, whether that's Fusion Summoning for Dragoon, Fusion Summoning for Dark Magician Dragon Knight, or using Dark Magician for something else. And so that's one reason we found out of all the duels we played so far, Magician Navigation just doesn't seem to actually come up as useful. The next card we identified, which I really struggle with saying, is actually Ash Blossom.
We know it's contrary to popular opinion, but maybe you guys are right. Hand traps might not be the best for this deck, just because you end up with multiple of them at some times and can't play.
It is really good if you're negating something like Red Eyes Fusion, or if you're playing against a deck where there's a very targeted card that you need to stop. But in all the duels we've played so far, we've actually observed that more often than not, it's not been helpful. Whether we started with too many in our starting hand, or you don't start with it at all, or if you negate something that just doesn't stop your deck, we've actually found that a lot of times we've identified Ash Blossom as kind of being a problem. The next card, which is one important one for Dragoon, is Red Eyes Black Dragon.
It keeps showing up in hand. There's one copy in this deck, and it's shown up in the starting hand of 4 of the duels.
Which is really frustrating. Now, contrary to that, it's been helpful in the sense that we've had Blackstone Legend, which has helped out in the cases where he did start with it, but more often than not, we've drawn Red Eyes Black Dragon in the opening hand, or drawn Red Eyes Black Dragon from a deck of like 30 cards mid-game, more often than not, and we don't want to see that card in hand at all. And so maybe there's got to be a better option for the deck, but it seems to be coming up a lot, like Rebecca said, for only having one copy in the deck. Another card that came to attention was, as much as I would like to keep it in the deck, and as much as theoretically the play would have happened where I could have used it, is Magician of Dark Illusion. Another card was actually Effect Veiler, another hand trap.
It just doesn't seem to show up very well in the duels that we've played. Might not be the best to be in there.
It's also pretty much equivalent to Infinite Imperm, which is already in the deck, and so there's a question there of whether Effect Veiler is actually useful or not. We don't really need a tuner, so just a thought.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Guys, thank you very much for watching episode 3. Look forward to episode 4, and guys, remember to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and guys, we will see you
Next time.
Bye, guys.